Welcome to the Mindful Mondays podcast, weekly reflections and meditations to start your week right. With your host, author, meditator, and founder of Mind, Body and Spirit Entrepreneur, Rachel Thompson.
Welcome back, meditators, to the Mindful Mornings podcast and to day 6 of our Mindfulness Challenge. Again, if you're just joining us, I encourage you to go back and check out the first day of this Mindfulness Challenge, which would be 5 episodes back, so that you can start. We don't all have to start at the same time. Yesterday, we talked about mindful walking, and today we are going to be addressing mindful commuting. Anytime that you travel or commute anywhere today, plan to be mindful. This could be your commute to and from work. It can be driving the kids to school. It can be running errands or going to the gym. It also doesn't have to be when you're driving. It can be if you're on your bike or if you walk places. It can be during your walks. Just make sure that you're mindful during any of those activities. Also, if you take public transportation, that should be fun to be mindful on the subway. But this is what we're going to encourage ourselves to do. So during these commutes, practice all of the sensation-focusing exercises that you've been doing during the meditations. Try not to listen to music or news or podcasts. Just let your mind become aware of all the sensations you are feeling, hearing, seeing, and smelling. And remember how we talked about mindfully relaxing. If you're not driving, you can practice mindfully relaxing during your commute. Well, I know this might be a little challenging, and especially if you have a really long commute, not listening to anything can seem almost impossible. So if you do want to listen to the radio or podcast, just try to be mindful of your thoughts and any emotions and what you're thinking, and still be mindful of your body and the experiences you're having while doing so. If we are adding in some extra stimulation, you don't want to use it as a distraction, but you want to become mindful in that process. So if you commute with other people, you can also be mindful of all conversations during this time, which we've already talked about mindful conversations a couple episodes back. Listen to everything being said without thinking, how you're going to respond to it. If others are having a conversation, listen without placing any judgments or thoughts on what you're hearing them talk about. Allow all the words others are saying to enter and exit your awareness without holding on to anything. And take those skills that you practice during the mindful conversations and use them. So if anything elicits a sort of emotion, let it go and write it down in your journal, which I hope you are keeping, and you can explore it later. This can be a great practice if you struggle with anger while driving or commuting. It's the perfect time to implement mindful techniques discussed during day 4, which is combating negativity. If you need to go back and listen to that podcast really quick, then it might be a great idea. You can really understand where these feelings of negativity during driving or commuting are coming from, and hopefully be able to bring yourself back through that pattern interrupt that we talked about, or by simply becoming mindful. All right, that was short and sweet. Be sure to listen to the meditation at some point today if you haven't already, and enjoy your mindful commute. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to Mindful Mondays with Rachel, a mind, body and spirit entrepreneur production. If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to www.mymbse.com for more free resources and trainings. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and give us a review. And join us next week for a brand new meditation and reflection.